Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun, dun. Hey, everybody, how you doing? This is True Powers Mine, and this is TPIM SR Live. Today's date, November 10th, 2019, the year of our Lord. Today, we are going to be talking about the truth about the tragic arrangement. Yes, we are all born into this state, this arrangement. Sister D, welcome to the show. Peace and power. Quite literally just got off the phone with a previous guest. Awesome conversation as always. Very interpersonal. You after talking, you really have to reevaluate yourself and see where perhaps still the indoctrination is inside of oneself, and we're going to work through that. Brother Marty, Brother Jeff, peace and power. So without further ado, let's start the show. All right, now, hold on. Let me scoot this over. Hold on. Hopefully everything else is cool. So everybody can read. Hopefully it's big enough so you can read along. Now, I'm going to break this down. We're just going to roll through it, kind of how the conversation was on the phone. Also want to remind everybody this, I believe, Tuesday, Veterans Day. Mark from Anaheim will be on the Carl Nelson Show. Sister Barbara, peace and power. Brother Al, peace and power. Welcome to the show. Brother Alan, welcome to the show. Everybody says out and about tonight or this afternoon, wherever part of the world you happen to be in. Brother Fred, peace and power. Welcome to the show. So without further ado, let me get in it, and I'll try to kind of look at the screen and make sure I'm reading it and scrolling down as I go. The only time that I ever had the flu was in 1982, when the U.S. Marine Corps forced me to take it while I was at basic school. While thousands of idiots actually volunteer for the H1N1 experimental flu or experimental vaccine, I refused to take any of that shit. And I damn sure would not volunteer to be a guinea pig. That comes from Michael B. Pollard, better known. Now, this was in relationship to, and they won't let me show it. Hold on. I want this image right there. Now, at first hand, excuse the pun, it looks provocative. It looks disturbing. But if you look closely, this isn't a bunny rabbit or nothing weird. And dude probably wasn't even drinking. He's letting you know that H1N1 got you by the nuts. That's what this is representing. Now, to the untrained eye, it looks like it's something that it's not. And then I just want to bring this to you guys' attention because I myself found that image disturbing until I read what it was all about. The federal government has started testing vaccines against the swine flu. About 208,000, or not 200, but 2,800 volunteers at 8 sites across the country will be rolling up their sleeves in the next week to receive the experimental flu shot. U.S. health officials are preparing for a possible fall outbreak. And this was from August 11th, 2019. Okay, so these are some old stuff. The only reason why I bring up the flu thing at this particular moment is that this was back in the day they were doing that. Each flu injection you receive really is an experiment because each year the disease mutates, different strands mutate. All right. Brother Jay, welcome to this show. Peace and power. And Hadda, peace and power. Now, this right here, this is now the show's going to start getting interesting. I mean, it should have already been, but it truly is now. Dick Gregory, Bubba Dick Gregory, rest in power. Below is an excerpt from the 2013 radio show, The Carl Nelson Show, WOL 1450 AM, Washington, D.C., where Dick Gregory and Mark from Anaheim appeared together. Michael B. Pollard. Greg, you said I was in San Diego County the day that Spiro died. Or this was what Mark from Anaheim said. Greg, you said I was in San Diego County the day that Spiro died. Dick Gregory. Spiro? Who? Mark from Anaheim. Yeah, Spiro, or yes, Ian Spiro. Dick Gregory. Oh, yes, Ian. They killed him. They called it a suicide. Hold on. Sorry about that. Michael P. Ballard. Mark from Anaheim. Yeah. What the fuck? Hold on, man. I didn't even hit nothing. Why is all this popping up? Anyhow. Yeah, while I was at a spook convention with old timers from World War II, I had no idea why I was invited since I was not even born when most of them were serving. I figured that they were going to whack me because of my radio show appearance with you and Carl on front page. Back here in LA, since I knew that they were old school, I took my 2-year-old daughter with me. I figured that they would not kill me with my 2-year-old daughter there. Dick Gregory. Yeah, well, you're wrong. Dick's always to the point. Hold on. Right here. Mark from Anaheim. Yeah, no kidding. Hell, the same day, a few miles away, they killed Ian's entire family. Then later killed him. And later, Ian was blamed for the murders because supposedly was blamed for the murders, supposedly committing suicide. Now, if Ian did it, why would MI5 and MI6 provide security for all Ian's relatives in the UK after Ian was already dead? Dick Gregory. Those dirty dogs, if they wanted to kill you that day, they would have done it right in front of your daughter. Mark from Anaheim. Yeah, my daughter. Hold on. Yeah, my daughter ended up the life of the party because most of the reunion were old enough to be my grandparents, and she was the only one there younger than I. She was getting Shirley Temples from everyone all afternoon. When my daughter and I were leaving, 3 unknown guys in suits joined us in the elevator. One said, "So I hear you're now working for the LAPD." Sorry, folks. Working for the LAPD. I told him that is true. And he asked, "So what do you think about the riots?" I responded, anyone with half a brain could see that coming. Hell, every day the news kept fomenting hatred and anger against the police. Before they exit the elevator, one of those guys in suits said, and I quote, "Tell the LAPD that we ain't done with them yet." I went back and told the top brass, and they acted as if I was crazy. By the way, Greg, that neighborhood where Ian's family was murdered was the same neighborhood where Heaven's Gate all allegedly committed suicide. And Dick Gregory, yep. You see, this whole bizarro freak show that we call modern society is all interconnected. That man died. Men and women were injured in an orchestrated riot facilitated by those who should be protecting us. And I know y'all can read in between the lines. Brother Shannon, peace and power. Welcome to the show. I want to ask you, brothers and sisters, and I'm not getting too far down this rabbit hole, but the next series of pictures, well, first I'm going to ask you to keep an open mind, Don't let your feelings or emotions overtake just a simple, rational discussion about some very unpleasant things. This here is a picture of the Nation of Islam. This was way back in the day. This fella here is Lincoln Norman. Wait, the famous Rockwell. Yeah, Lincoln Rockwell, I believe. The leader of the Nationalist Party up there in Chicago, sitting. Apparently, him and his organization had the first two benches at the meeting there. And what that subliminally suggests to us, even in the nation, the white man gets the best seats in the house. But that's not truly the point here. What does the Nazis, the nation, Scientology, and to some degree even evangelical teachings all have in common? They're looking for an alien to come to Earth to save them. In the case of the entity that we commonly refer to as white supremacy, it manifests in the ideal that only the Aryans, or who are calling themselves nowadays the Aryan, are the only ones who would be worthy enough for the aliens to swoop down and uplift and ascend this group of people. It's great for keeping us divided. It's great for keeping humanity decisive. It's great for keeping the hate rolling. Sister Kathy, peace and power. Welcome to the show. Brother David, peace and power. Welcome to the show. We're gonna open this link up, y'all, and we're gonna go here. Sister CJ, long time. Peace and power. This is the Cult Educational Institute, okay? And I hope I can get it all. Maybe I just have to kind of zoom in. I want you all at home to be able to read it and see it for yourself, because I'm not the world's best auto reader. Nation of Islam looks to UFO to save the world. In addition to following this at Nation of Islam, put in link UFO Believers 2. Okay, AOL News, March 23rd, 2011, the year of our Lord, leads Spiegel. It isn't often you hear about entire religious groups seriously interested in unidentified flying objects. But UFOs are what the Nation of Islam, led by the controversial minister, the Honorable Minister, Louis Farrakhan, considering amongst its core beliefs. The Nation of Islam was founded in 1930 in Detroit by a former clothing salesman, Wallace Dodge Fard, or Muhammad later added to his name, a minister whose followers believed was the personification of God on earth, sort of like Father Divine. Said students and successors. Elijah Poole, who later became Elijah Muhammad, reference to Fard as a spokesman of God or Allah. NOI followers believe they originated from a lost nation of African descent who were captured and exploited into slavery by white oppressors, referring to as devils. It falls to the hands of Fard and then Poe to lead African Americans into a new self-awareness and self-independence. This black nationalism aimed at raising the stature of African Americans founded a new leader in Louis Farrakhan in 1981. Farrakhan, a former Calypso singer and dancer and violinist, has through the years stirred the pots of controversy with anti-Semitic rhetoric and statements promoting black superiority over whites. All right. I'm going to post this link in the chat room so that, because I'll sit here and stumble through this without my reading glasses for the rest of the night. I wanted that first few paragraphs was the most pertinent thing. We have to. I want you all just to focus on one thing. It's the UFO. Okay, hold on. Now this is Jim Mars. All right, often Church of basically Scientology. Let's jump over here, and we're gonna wrap all this stuff together. Hold on, op-ed. Church of Scientology hires UFO, JFK, 9/11 truther Jim Morris to promote Battlefield Earth. Okay. Doomed forever to repackage and resell the same old works of L. Ron Hubbard over and over ad nauseum. The Church of Scientology has now decided to relaunch one of the worst sci-fi books ever. And here we speak Battlefield Earth, which was one of the worst movies ever. That the movie starred Scientologist John Travolta, that perhaps the main reason for the epic awfulness of the movie, the book, and the movie were bad because L. Ron Hubbard, Battlefield Earth, fails in so many areas. The plot, the character, the dialogue, the writing itself, and idiotic, laughable. Well, the book is unreadable in its present form. Blah, blah, blah. All right, hold on. 1. Jill Mers is taking Scientology's blood money to promote Battlefield Earth. All right. Now let's explain that one sentence right there. The Scientologists are basically doing the same gag. And let me post this in the chat room for those. Copy. I am going to try to put these into the thing as well. Hold on. It won't let me. I got to take off a few characters. All right. Now, what was I about to say? The blood money. Scientology is doing what the Roman Catholic Church did back in the day. Getting all the wealthy firstborn of all middle class and upper class families. Whenever that priest or friar or bishop or whatever died, all that possession went into the Catholic Church, thus building the foundation of the church that we see today with all its opulence and wealth. Scientology is following that same playbook. You join those people, you have to sign over all your personal property to those people, the whole 9 yards. And if you start tripping, they'll kick your shit out and keep your shit. All right. Now, where's the other one? Hold on. This is what I'm talking about. I'm all about the eyes. Hold on. Let me blow this up. I want you all to see this, the eyes for yourself. All right, hold on. I think that's, what the hell? Hold on. What the? Okay, hold on. Hold on, y'all. I guess I blew it up too much. Well, you ain't gonna be able to see it like I want. All right. I want you to. You can't really see it like I want you to, but maybe I can do it like this. There's more than 2 ways to fry a dog in China. Hold on. Now, can I zoom in on this? I can't zoom in on that. I was hoping I could zoom in on that. I guess I can if I do this. Because I really want you to see these eyes because it's really important. later on that we're on the same page with this. So let me find this picture. Where did the picture go? Oh, here it is. All right. Hold on, Yao. Now we should be able to blow it up. Well, that's about the best I can get it, huh? All right. If you look into the eyes on this picture, I know it's grainy, but hopefully the essence, Brother Gregory, is coming through. Sister Janice, peace and power. Welcome to the show. You can see the disconnect. You can see the programming. You can see the indoctrination. And this is very important. Hold on. All right. I'm not going to do that same process for all. You just have to bear with me and trust that it is what it is. Hold on. Maybe if I click that. Oh, yeah, I can do it like that. All right, cool. You look into these eyes. That's programming. You're looking into MK Ultra. You're looking into Operation Phoenix. You're guys. Hold on. Let me go back. I hate this. Now it's going to be all slow as molasses here. I just want to go back. I'm not going to do this because, you know what, now it's messing up my whole flow. And oh my God. Hold on. All right, you know what? If you can't see, just get a magnifying glass and because the technical aspect is getting pretty hard. The internet's rolling slow. I'm probably gargling. I got a lot of information to share. Okay, there we go. All right. You see the same eyes in this girl. The same eyes on old boy. Same eyes on with him in certain pictures. That's Dr. Ron Paul. This is Tom Hartman. You see that in the eyes. His is more like his, and hers is like a cross between all theirs. All right. The reason why this is, we have to understand this because the people who are putting together a lot of these so-called nationalist organizations, man, they don't give a shit about you or me. Tate, welcome to the show. Sister Barbara, welcome to the show. Peace and power. Even the ADOS movement, you have to understand there's more there than what meets the eyes. Now, I'm not going to get into a lot of this today. I'm just giving you a little taste of what's to come, of what's going to be exposed, what's going to be talked about. Rolling Stones, Steve Bannon to testify against Roger Stone. Now, a lot of you guys may be shocked. All I can say is listen to the Carl Nelson show this Tuesday when Mark's on. I want to make sure I'm going to make sure. Wait, hold on. Oh, goodness. I don't know why I'm struggling so hard today. When is Veterans Day? I don't know why I'm so struggling so hard today. Oh, it's Monday, November 11th. So then I think he would be on tomorrow then. I should ask. Well, I'll ask later. Step to this real quick. Now, you guys know Yvette Carnell, right? Hold on. I'm not hearing nothing.
Welcome to New Possibilities. I speak truth to power without fear. So yesterday I did a video following my debate on Nyla Says. And during that video, I mentioned the fact that Yvette Carnell did a video, a live stream, where she was actually touting and praising Donald Trump and how he handled a particular press conference. And I also mentioned that during that particular video, she actually put on a Donald Trump hat, one of those Make America Great Again hats. And this morning, a YouTuber reminded me to post the link to that particular video. Now, when I went to look up the video, it came to my attention that Yvette Carnell actually deleted the video. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the name of the video. A while ago, when I did my first video on ADOS, one of my subscribers or somebody that was watching the video posted the link. And back then, when they first posted the link, I clicked on the video and I actually took a screenshot of Yvette Carnell wearing this Make America Great Again hat. And I would use that as the thumbnail for this particular video. So let me show you the title. I'm going to share my screen, show you the comment that someone left that included the title.
Not only just a small hat, but a Steve Bannon organization. Yep.
Okay, so as you can see here, someone left a comment saying, "Great video, MP. Here's Yvette Carnell falling all over herself for Trump and putting on the MAGA hat." And again, y'all know that MAGA stands for Make America Great Again. And then the video was titled, "Donald Trump Just Went Off During His Press Conference." And when you click on this link.
And that's what I want to say. Now, when I'm looking at this thumbnail, Sister Barbara, when I look right here, this almost looks photoshopped on her. And they just kind of like maybe took a picture where I'm not trying to say that she didn't or did. I'm just presenting this to you. But as I'm presenting it to you, I'm noticing, because this is the first time me hearing this information as well, that hat don't look quite right through here. Let me put this link in the chat room so you all can follow me. Those who decided to bring your Googles to the show. There's the link I'm on right now. If you click this link in the chat room right there at the bottom, you can go over here and see. And it's the first thumbnail. If you look over here by where her left eye would be, how the hat bill is in reference to her head. You know what I mean? This looks like a Photoshop job. And I'm not trying to say fake news, but I don't know.
You will see that the video is deleted. But just so that you all know, the title of that video was "Donald Trump Just Went Off During His Press Conference." And here's the link. And this is what happened when you click on the link. It says video is unavailable. And I wouldn't be surprised that she deleted this video, because I was on Twitter, engaging in a back and forth with these ADOS people. And actually, I was debating these people along with rapper Talib Kweli. We were all going against these ADOS people. And I actually posted a link to this video, posted a link, shared that link, if I recall correctly. And I also posted screenshots of that particular video, posted a screenshot of her with this Make America Great Again hat, so that people could see that there are elements of this ADOS movement that are pro-Trump. It's a right-wing movement that is anti-immigrant, a xenophobic movement. And, the fact that they many of them embrace Donald Trump, or at least parts of his agenda, speaks volumes in and of itself. So my question for Yvette Carnell is, why did you delete this video? And I encourage you all to actually go to her and ask her, why did she delete the video? Ask her about that. You all have the title of the video. You have the name of the video. And again, in the thumbnail, I will post, an image of her with that Donald Trump hat on from that video. And I frankly think that she made this video unavailable because she knows that it exposes her true agenda. It exposes that she is, in fact, one of these pro-Trump people. She supports this xenophobic position of Trump, this anti-immigrant nonsense. And if you could see how ecstatic she was over how Donald Trump handled this particular press conference, you would be sickened. I mean, this is a woman who constantly bashes President Obama, had all this negative stuff to say about Obama, all these bad things to say about this black man who at least tried to do something that was beneficial to the black community. And I could go on and on about what he tried to do and what he actually did, but I won't. But this woman never hesitated to bash Obama, but yet this woman was praising Donald Trump like crazy in this video that she took down. So again, I encourage people to ask her, why did she take down the video? And I also just wanted to follow up to let you all know about the situation. And I want to thank the YouTuber who reminded me to post this link. But I just wanted to bring it to your attention. And,
all right, you have brought it. Attention, we got it. You brought it to our attention. I don't know. A little sketchy. But let's... Oh no, I think the studio audience just rolled up. Hold on 1 second, y'all.
That's our dinner. I gotta get some diapers and clothes.
All right. Hold on, let me hold on, guys. I'm just gonna put this on autopilot real quick. Mine looks great, by the way. I supposed to have had a... Oh, sorry, y'all. They just brought home food. Hold on 1 second. Let me get you guys. Actually, I was going to read this, but hold on 1 second. We're going to go here real quick. We'll take a momentary break. But I'm going to, hold on. I'm going to fix you guys up. Where am I?
We lost a giant today. Congressman Elijah Cummings was a fearless leader, a protector of democracy, and a fighter for the people of Maryland. Our world is dimmer without him in it. And then
consider what's been in Kamala's mouth. I don't trust anything coming out of it.
Me either. And I'll say this. In my 5 decades of being involved in criminal justice, I'd say the most untrustworthy, lowest character people you'll ever meet are career prosecutors. They're too used to too much power. With no checks and balances, they lie. They don't know what the truth is. They've got an elite that they protect, and everybody else is fair game for their little chess playing. And it is very bad. The truth is not within them. I would trust somebody I just met off the streets more than I would a person that's been with a prosecutor's office for 25 years. Some of the old civil rights icons and some of the civil rights greats who weren't sung, you know, people didn't know them outside of the locals. And hell, I did a lot of stuff in the militant area in the damn self. So when somebody starts trying to laud somebody as a civil rights leader, I said, well, maybe I just didn't hear the guy. I thought he was 80 years old the way he looked. You know, and then when I said, this guy's only 68 years old, hell, damn. When we were doing BSU, he wasn't even in high school. Well, what the hell did he do to me?
And they haven't explained what he died from. They're hinting, but I'll share something with you. And I was on the radio here, and I said it when he was alive. I'm not going to take it back. He had an aortic valve problem. An infection is aortic valve. I challenge anyone to Google aortic valve and infections.
Yeah,
One of the common
things
that, okay, now you know what it means. Yes. Okay. And they won't talk about it, and they're not saying. And when you look at how puffed up he got.
What does it mean? You guys keep spewing out.
Well, I'll let the judge. I mean, I'll be silent.
No, you can explain it. I'm the host. Okay. Well, go ahead and explain it. I'll let you do it. I know what you're talking about, though. Means what do they call it?
STD.
All right. I just wanted to give you guys something to listen to. I hate dead air. Had to do a couple of things. Now let's get back to what we're talking about. All right. Now this is the Yvette Cornell deal right here. This is pertaining to her. A white feminist says that they are the sisters of black women. Ask you to join their women's movement, then they want you to give you then they want to give you 500 reasons you should leave your black man and let them eat your pussy. Sister Soldier is a quote from her. Now this is Sister Cornell, and she is a human being, but the deal to look at is this one right here. The eyes. The all reason why I brought you all to just this point right here, the eyes. You can't see them in the other pictures. Do you not see what I see? Do you not understand? The programming is strong. And if this ADL stuff is conjured up, hold on, here we go again. On suddenly. Hold on. Here we go. If this ADO stuff is conjured up, by this guy right here. Oh, come on. You know what? Why did you even say that this is high-speed internet when it's a joke? When it's a sad, sick joke that's damn near $100 a month. Can't even work this damn thing. So gargly. All right. Now, this guy right here. This is the guy that Steve Bannon looks up to. This ideology right here on this arm. Now, why would he want to make an ADOC movement? Why would he want to help create anything to empower black folks? So to scare the hell out of white folks, to get them en masse to join this organization for nothing else than self-preservation. Because all the natives are getting restless, don't you know? Hold on. It gets worse. But it's going to be a celebration. That guy, Steve Bannon, for those who don't know. Right here. Steve Bannon threw Roger Stone under the bus. Steve Bannon, blah, blah, blah. Okay. I just wanted to get a better picture so you guys can. And don't forget, some people who are watching the show for the first time, they won't know who Steve Bannon is. It's not this guy. It's this jolly, plump feller right here. I'm doing that to be like as respectful as I can. Okay. This one here is Atmos Magazine. This I'm sorry, yeah, but this one here is gonna be extremely unpleasant. So if you have any type of Yvette Cornell, I guess sympathies or anything like that, or that nature, this segment you might want to turn down the volume on your speakers, and when you see everything change, then it's safe to listen again. But those who are brave enough to hear the truth, follow me, because we're taking this fucking hill. All right. Chadwick Boseman admits to Chaka. Okay, hold on. I'm going to read part of this article, and then we'll just break it down. We're going to jump through it kind of, because there's more and more information. This ain't going to be a 3-hour phone call. People like Cynthia G and Yvette Cornell are enemies of black men. The simpleton Negroes who follow these women are also enemy to black men, women, children, and ultimately the black African race. I will start out with this idiotic mixed woman's Yvette Cornell. This woman is a lesbian who only dates white women. Yvette Cornell is an agent of menticide to the black children's brains. She claims that African people born in the U.S. are special or different because their ancestors were captured into slavery, and claims that African Americans who identify with African royalty or African empire are wrong based on her own ignorance about African, quote, American history. Number one, Africans who were captured into slavery system came from various backgrounds. Some were royal. Oh, Jesus. I'm sorry, I can't. I will not. I can't hold this back. We got to get out of this ideal that kings and queens were ever taken into slavery. Because at the moment and point you lose the fucking crown, you stop being a king. You stop being a queen. No royals were ever taken into slavery. Now, human beings who could have been a king or queen at one point in time, absolutely, but they're not royal in that sense of the word. The moment even the French king lost his head on the guillotine over there after the French, he was no longer the king. His descendants have shit. They have no inheritance. When his head rode, the inheritance for all the bloodline rode with that head on down the road. All this divisive bullshit. And let's just say, hypothetically, just to continue the conversation, let's just say hypothetically, damn it, the kings were taken. Well, how many kings are you fucking talking about? I mean, last time I checked, there was 100 million fucking slaves up in this bitch. I mean, fuck, how many kings, the only reason why I say this is because when people start saying this rhetorical nonsense, you're a king, a queen, a duke, or earl, blah, 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 anything other than a fucking human, then you're falling right into the fucking system. You're falling right into the divisive bullshit that collectively got us all being the hamster running the fucking wheel. But that's enough of me. Let me go back and put on my reporter hat, and golly gee, we're going to report the story with no commentary. Some were royal, some were farmers, some were servants. The African servitude system allowed for one to become a king, not a chief. The chieftain idiocracy, even in the mouths of continental Africans who had a European education. For those who are colonized, African people place this lie in their minds of black people. Jaja Opopo, was born a servant, not a slave. But the servant in Ibigo, Ijal nation, he rose to become a powerful king who traded salt, palm oil, canola nuts, and other things. From being a servant, he ruled over large parts of Ijibo land. The white writes in U.S. textbooks, British textbooks, that he was a slave who became a king. Common sense would tell you that this is impossible. A slave will never become a king. And once Jajaubo became a king, he had conflicts with Britain, who shipped him in exile to the Americans. What did I just say, folks? The moment you are separated from your royal power, that is the moment you cease being a king, and now you're whatever the fuck. You're a political prisoner of war, you're a fucking slave, you're a fucking hand servant, you're a fucking prostitute, sex worker, you're a fucking, factory worker, wherever the fuck. But you're no longer a king, no longer a queen. I just cannot stress how detrimental those concepts in themselves are anti-human. This whole concept, we have to have some sort of a situation because someone can attack us. It's all predicated on fear and it's based upon hatred of others seizing power and forcing you to basically go underneath their rulership. And I know it's not terribly unpleasant, but this is the world in which we live in. The reason why there will be no kumbaya is because the hate-filled people who are controlling the real kings and the real queens, I'm talking about the real ones now. Not the pretenders of the throne, but the actual real ones. They already got goons on both sides of the fence. So either your little revolutionary leaders are all their servants, or the fucking government administrators are all their servants. That's why no matter what you do, you're just doing what the system wants you to do. Except for one thing. The system will never advocate uniting across the board. The system will never advocate throwing away with these ridiculous concepts of race and sex, like the sex in general, like being a woman and blah, blah, blah. You got to cook my dinner, be underneath my thumb type bullshit. All that stupid shit. Because all this division only creates what? An individual. You're no longer a part of the greater human collective. No, I'm a part of this tribe who's a part of this little family, which is a part of this little deal going on. I'm separate from y'all. That's great. That's great. So the king of the earth can maintain his reign. I don't know if people really want liberation or not, man. I really don't know if they want liberation or not. You look at all these people talking about all these different agendas. And we already showed you some of the biggest players. Some of the biggest players right here, I just got to scroll up, are all united. What does the small hat Israel, Nation of Islam, all have in common? They both interact with the Nazi ideology. And a lot of the Nazi ideology that no one ever talks about is the UFO connection. Remember Dr. Von Braun talking about when he was asked, well, how did the Nazis develop such scientific technological marvels? And he winked and said, we had help. Alluding to extraterrestrials working with Nazi scientists to do. Well, how come they couldn't develop the B-52 Stratofortress? Fuck, how come they couldn't develop the Sherman tank? I mean, even though it had less armor, a less powerful gun, it was easier to manufacture and put together. It did have the slanted front that offers some shell deflection. You see, when we fall into these lies, these half-truths and misdirections. Ultimately, what we're getting snared into is a system that is predicated upon you feeling that you are powerless. Without that conscious realization, the power structure cannot maintain its power over you guys. As long as you feel that you're a blood or you're a crip, you're never going to feel that you're a human and you're worthy of greatness. As long as you feel like you're white trash or you're some sort of fucking loser, you're never going to feel like you're a human being and you're worthy of something. As long as you feel like you're a Democrat or you're a Republican, at the core of that, you're never going to really feel like you're just a human being, a part of a greater family. All this plays a part in the control and direction of social engineering. See, you see, Dr. Neely Fuller is right. Dr. Neely Fuller Jr. is right. It this doesn't have to be validated by your ignorance, because no matter if you don't realize what way you're going to get help, but only the way you're going. Now, you can blame it on this group, you can blame it on that group, but once again, just by you acknowledging that the difference in groups already put the game in motion. Now, what group do you belong to? If you recognize those two groups and these groups over here are all fucking with the situation, what group do you belong to? Are you the captain? Are you the crew? Or are you fucking cargo? And I'm saying some of y'all ain't even that. You're the stuff that was in the chum buckets that they were throwing out the back. We have to understand, y'all. If you want to end racism, if you sincerely and truthfully really want to end it, the answer is so simple. If you want to have a government, if that's your focus, you know, if we could just fix the government is not broken. If we just can tweak it out. Now you're breaking it. This country, this nation is on the trajectory that it was set upon. It hasn't really deviated. It's on the course. It's just that some of us have lied to ourselves to such an extent we believe that we were on the same course per par. No, country's not broken, yo. You're supposed to be at the fucking bottom. You're supposed to be dealing with dysfunction. You're supposed to be dealing with rampant STDs. You're supposed to be dealing with fucking needles, fucking that you have to do hopscotch just to get fucking to the street, jumping over this whiskey bottle, jumping over that fucking bullshit. Yeah, the country is exactly what. See, the thing is, you just don't recognize you're where you're supposed to be by design. Oh, I choose to be here, true. Well, then you chose wrong, homie. Because this is not the present state I wish humanity to be. And that's why I do this show. That's why I've sacrificed so much of the most valuable thing on earth, and it's called time. And I do it with a smile on my fucking face and joy in my heart. Because I, too, see the ramification and the power of one man, one group of people, and one show standing up in the darkness amongst the sea of humanity and saying, hey, yeah, wait. For those who can't see, you can stop feeling now. I know why you have your pain. We see and we explain. But it goes back to what Brother Al said. Some people are straight up willfully ignorant. Brother Isaac, welcome to the show. Peace and power. Art creation, welcome to the shop. Power, welcome to the power. Welcome to the show. I tell you, man, the conversation I just had, man, it was just so mind blowing. And really quite personally painful to me. I guess I am a libertarian, an ill-guided one, absolutely. And I have to say that. Because of the reality and the truth that was given to me. The libertarians don't give a fuck about a guy like me, for real. They can give two shits. They can give two shits about a brother like Mark from Anaheim or Judge Joe or Dr. Short or any of us. And at the end of the day, the only right they want to get back truly is the right to take the woman and rape her up in the house, to take the man and work his ass to death out there in the field. And that's bullshit as well. There has not been one ideology that's ever really been promoted that was true and void of the nonsense and ridiculousness. This one premise: liberation, freedom, individual freedom. But because we're all so debased in our fucking heads, we can't really even agree to what's that. What does individual freedom really mean? Yo, does that mean I can go and take the goat and marry the goat? Does that mean I can take a 2x4 and make that my wife? Ain't that free? You see how we're so distorted and so sick? We're going to have to write out everything yet again. No, it has to be a man. It has to be a woman. It can't be like none of that Mormon shit. You can't take 13, 15 young 15-year-olds and make them all your fucking woman. Can't do that. But that's what I feel. I was born this way. I was born a polygamist. Blah, fucking blah. We have to understand that without the correct information, without the correct facts, without the correct base, anything you build upon that is incorrect. Anything. I don't give a fuck if it's an empire. I don't give a fuck if it's a business. If it's not founded on foundation of truth, then it will fall. Guaranteed. You don't got to be a prophet or an oracle to see that one coming. But you damn near have to be a prophet or oracle to understand that even ourselves in this present state of being, right off the skip, is giving wrong information. Therefore, we draw wrong conclusions, which ultimately, consequently, concludes in performing wrong behaviors. So no economic crash is coming. I wouldn't say that. Brother A1, welcome to the show. Peace and power. Man, we got the whole family up in here today. It's awesome. I feel the spiritual whirlpool in here. A good one. All these bright minds. Man, I just think if I only had $2 million, if I could go to my father and get a $2 million loan, I could form a media outfit that would just blow everybody out the water. Have Sister Alexandra, executive producer. Brother Truth Talk is in the house as well. Detroit represented. Peace and power, brother. Have Sister Kathy, show producer, or perhaps a show. You know what, sister? We should just do that show right now while you're on the line. Because I'm pretty much almost done with my bit. I just want to bring out this, and you know, honestly, it's going to be elaborated on by better and greater people than myself. So let me open up the call line. Hopefully we can peer pressure, we can bully Sister Kathy into sharing some of her vast information with us. And I mean vast information. I'm opening up the Magic Jack right now. Just give it a minute. I'll post a number though. Which is odd because I can't take calls because I don't know how to three-way on Magic Jack. That sounded kind of messed up, but yeah, it's all good, brother. I just had a conversation with a past guest confidential informant. I'm sure pretty much everyone figured out who I'm talking about, but I don't want to be guilty of being a subverted element because come on. All right, hold on. Hold on. There we go. Yes, this is the show that reaches out to guests.
Text and drop.
Yes. Wait, is your phone cut off? Sister Kathy, turn your phone on so I can call you and get you on the show. Hold on. Let me cut out some of this. I got cut off the internet when I'm taking phone calls. So then that way the phone call. Hello, welcome to the show.
True Power?
Yes. Welcome to the show. You got to turn down your microphone on your side. The way.
Okay.
Perfect.
Is that better?
That's perfect. Now, let's go right into
Yeah, I got a little steamed just now, y'all family. I got a little steamed.
What's going on?
Well, I listen to Yvette Carnell every week for the last two years, okay. And Antonio Moore. It's a bunch of bullshit that was put on them papers. Whatever you was reading,
right?
Is a lot. Those are lies from hell. What the ADOS is gonna do is vote down ballot. We are going to the polls, and it's gonna be like if you go to the smorgasbord, and you go there intending to eat, but there's nothing there on the menu that's any good. You find a bunch of old food and recycled politics, old food, nothing to select from.
Right.
So if it's a local election, the mayor is real important. They nominate or they pick the police captain or whatever.
Yeah. Okay.
Sheriff's department, fire department. Okay. So we're being specific in local and being active in putting who we need on the school boards and whatnot. They have never said don't vote. They have never said they hate any islanders, Africans, or any of that. They've never supported Trump. She said, why do we walk away from a party we built for the last 50 years?
Which party she's talking about?
So
the Democratic Party?
She's talking about the Democrats. Look, we're the black base. We're the base. If we don't vote, if they're trying to blame us, look, it took a whole lot of white women that crossed over libertarians and Democrats to put Donald Trump in. So if they want to get him out, they need to vote in another way.
But
it wasn't us.
Them. But see, this is what I'm talking about. So bad about a fucking democracy versus a damn republic. Because if the republic is actually implemented correctly, what's in it for them, libertarian women and white women, to vote for the ADOS agenda?
Wait a minute, that's my notification making noise. I'm sorry. Hold on just a minute so I can get it off.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
I said basically.
Go ahead.
When we're dealing with this voting issue, and you said that they voted him into office, so they're going to have to vote him out of office. I'm asking you, what is it?
Repeat that again. Repeat that again.
Okay, it's pertaining to the up and coming election. I'm assuming, right? With
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you stated that libertarian women and basically white women voted Trump into office.
Democrats, yeah, Democrats, those suburban, educated white women, yes, with their husbands, they voted in their economic
right
and political interest.
Exactly. Now
they have stocks. We don't have stocks. How are we going to make money from stocks? The stock market could crash tomorrow. I wouldn't have no more money than I had today.
Well. But with that being
ain't got nothing to do with that.
What's in it for them to vote for the ADOS agenda? If we already determined they vote,
it's not an agenda, boo boo. It's a lineage. You can't join it. You can't be put in it. You can't be put out of it. Now you know I'm a half breed. Now we're the ones always suspect. Like I told a whole bunch of brothers, if it wouldn't have been for the half breeds poisoning the slave master, which was biologically their daddy, killing him, killing his wife, killing his kids, we wouldn't be free today like Harriet Tubman did. And this whole thing about Harriet Tubman being beholden to some slave master and not using that shotgun and not using that 6-shooter, that'd be like me not using my 6-shooter. You know, don't try to sugarcoat and change what happened in slavery. Show no harshness, no cruelty, no violence from the white people. Only from the black man that they just put in there as a character that wasn't even true to the historic record. So, ADOS, look, we've always been named. We're branded like a chattel. Right. With the slave master's last name. I came from the Garner plantation. I can go look up in the tax damn records where my family's from. Now, on the other side is white. I did not follow that side. I was raised up in them schools and all that. Once I got 18, I had to relearn everything. Because you're right, True. They told so many lies and continue to tell lies. In our face.
Yes.
That's what I like about Trump. He's so dirty, nasty. Look, everything Epstein did, that's what the founding fathers were doing and having a funky good time at it. And you want to talk about gays and trannies, look where it came from. Like you said, the church. Christopher Columbus wrote back saying, oh, we found there's a lot of 9 and 10-year-old girls here. They've always been pedophiles. Andrew Jackson's wife, Sally Hemings, was only 14 years old. 14 years old. They're pedophiles. They're rapists. They're sodomites. Everything wrong with our community has been learned. I'm a teacher. I've had so much child development and child psychology. This shit is man-made.
Absolutely.
Down to the architecture. Down to I've traveled all over this country. There's not one black neighborhood that's not in the bottoms. Oh, I take it back. Baldwin Hills in Los Angeles. That's the only one that's not in the bottoms.
You know why it's
they mean for us to be destroyed. They mean for us to look. Everything they say, the black trannies are being murdered. The black this, the black anything they say, just put the mirror up, and you'll find they were the ones doing it. Didn't they call us cannibals?
Correct.
Come to find out, they came across a Mayflower, and what did the natives find? They're eating each other.
Mm-hmm.
And in the Bible, in Deuteronomy, my brother just showed me this. It's somewhere. It's like in the it's got a lot of numbers on it. It's like this. I think it's like number 49. Maybe Deuteronomy 18:4. I don't know what it was, but it talks about them eating their own children and eating the placenta and them hoarding it. Sounds like the cave days from Europe, don't it? That's in the Bible.
Well, that's where that oral
and
circumcision comes from.
And I, and so I just want to say this: anything that's wrong with us, like Senator Biden at the time in 1994 on the floor said, I don't care why they're like this. I don't care if we made them like this. And if they're gonna hit my mother over the head with a lead pipe, I'm gonna lock them up. He's the one that authored that, and I'll be damned. You go look at the CBC, Congressional Black Caucus. Do you know almost every one of them? Probably Elijah Cummings. I heard that. Voted in favor. They followed Biden. Pelosi, Schumer, Sanders, all of them voted in favor of that 1994 crime bill. They had more Democrats vote for it than they did Republicans.
Right.
So,
and then that goes back to, so why are you still supporting that whole cabal of people who basically has not our best interests at heart?
Boo. I voted ever since I was 18 years old, believing the shit I believed. I'm 63 now. And it's only been within the last few years that I've been even aware of really what our system was doing. Of course, I heard Malcolm X call them Dixiecrats, but I didn't realize how damn deep it was. Now we know more about the assassination. Now we know more about Bush and the CIA. Now we know, I call him Ronald Reagan, dope dealer in chief. Dope dealer in chief. Because this plan to fuck up the ghettos, the inner city,
it's not new.
has been going on since at least 1970. It was paid for by the heroin money from Vietnam, like all this other bullshit is being paid for in the Amazon by the heroin in Afghanistan, so that the Congress doesn't have to vote and say we can have a war, we'll spend this on. So you got Eric Prince with mad money. I told you, I don't know if you read it, Google the United States troops protecting the opium fields in Afghanistan. 98% of pharmaceutical heroin comes from Afghanistan.
Yep.
So that war is to support the pharmaceutical corporations.
Right. Which supports the private.
It's to support it.
The junkies go where? They don't go to treatment. They go to jail. Junkies go to jail. Private jails.
No, junkies, it depends on which one.
Well,
it depends on your race. And it depends on this. The reason it depends, look, all those big books that, when you go to an attorney and you see that big old library, that's a white supremacist writing down every damn thing they can think of to put us back in slavery. Because the 13th Amendment says what? Oh, yeah, you're emancipated. We never were free. You're emancipated. But if you break a law, motherfucker, you're back in slavery.
There it is.
Look at Angola. Angola's connected to a plantation. It's a former plantation.
Just a coincidence.
You look at out here, like out here Delano and stuff. They got him in the farm in the fields. They got him in these fires. They're getting paid 10 cents an hour. Our brothers are out there fighting them fires, and they're giving all the credit. So they have some Mexican group. Oh, they're protecting the forest. No, it's the brothers on the front line. We've always had brothers that are the more athletic, the strongest, the smartest. Man, come on. And that's why you hear Farrakhan call us gods. You don't believe that you're a god? Hey, didn't it say in the Bible? See, I like Farrakhan because he goes to the Bible, he goes to the Quran, and he goes to there's two Jews. He goes to the Torah. He's not anti-Semite. Do you have a Bible? You want to really get some shit going? Read Revelation 2. And I bet you don't hear it on any mega church. You'll never hear it on TV. It only comes out of Farrakhan's mouth.
What does it say?
And they don't like it when he tells the truth, because it says that there's a satanic synagogue. See, there's two sets of Jews. And one of them says that you can have sex with a 3-year-old baby up to 3 years old, and it's like poking them with their finger in an eye. Now there's two sets. One looks like almost an encyclopedia, and those are the satanic Jews. They're the ones that developed the pornography, the entertainment, with us looking like, nothing's changed. It's Birth of a Nation. It's just all these different movies with the monster bad guy that's going to fuck the white lady, having her scared. And you know why they do that?
Why?
After slavery, they couldn't get no more free pussy. The black women were off the plantation. So they made little ghettos. They designed them, the architects, the city planners, so that the white men could go in there and get a thrill. Okay?
Right.
He's going in there to get his pussy and his dope and whatever. And they made them white women so scared of the ghetto. You think that you're going to get in the car and look for your husband out there?
No. And if you do, you get smacked when you found it. Because don't forget, back then, you didn't have no rights. Okay, here's your choices. One, I'm going to fuck this whore, and you're going to go about your business. Two, I'm going to smack the shit out you, fuck this whore, and you're going to go about your business. Now you choose. That was don't forget, back in the day, the honkies, because that's what you described. When the dude rolled up to the house, honk, honk, brother come out the house, pull the car around back, and white boy goes in there.
Okay, what's a cracker? What's a cracker? You described a honky. What's a cracker?
Oh, that's just a fool on the horse with the whip.
A cracker is the one who cracking your ass with the whip. Yep.
Yeah,
it's not about no cracker looking white. It's like the one whipping your ass.
Yeah,
go ahead.
It could have been a straw.
We got a cracker and a honky. Go ahead. We just made some definitions.
Well,
and we did. Speaking of definitions, that's why they're so damn mad. Like I was trying to say, they branded us with their last name. Okay? They were in control of whether we were called nigger, jungle bunny, Sambo, whatever. My grandfather, the white one, owned coon hounds. He had a pen with at least 10 coon hounds in it. Mm. And then he said, some people would rather swallow an elephant than spit out a fly, talking about racism. Because he disowned my mom. And then my father ended up having to take care of his ass. Mm. Black man, had to pay his bills, keep him alive. So they're mad because we named ourselves, brother. That's all. We came up with the terminology that said, look, you can't call us people of color because you're letting everybody and their mother get what Johnson said at Howard. He said, we have been hobbled. In other words, our legs have been cut off, and we needed a head start. That's where Head Start came from. Mm. So that's where affirmative action. Okay, then they do that reverse racism bullshit. And then what happens? You got Mexicans getting it. You got immigrants getting it. But worst of all, you got the slave-owning white women getting it.
And men. Don't forget about the gay white man.
I'm talking about affirmative action, saying that you are a minority.
Yes, gay white men get that benefit.
Yeah, I didn't hear you say gay. Exactly. So now, that's why I've been saying, let's look at this Equality Act, because the Equality Act wipes out civil rights, and that 1866 civil rights bill, mm-hmm. that Comcast versus Byron Allen, that gave us the right to vote. The other night we were listening, Richard Pryor said they're going to want the right to vote. That was fucked up factually, because from 1866 we had the right to vote, except for the freemen, not the women.
Right.
And then they started blocking those rights. But no, we had the right to vote. And it was in that same one that's going up against the Supreme Court with Donald Trump, the DOJ, and Comcast right now. It'll be out. And we've been saying, and if it wouldn't have been for Yvette Carnell, nobody would know about that. There's not anybody protesting at the Supreme Court right now, because there's so much division from what? People like that writing those fucked up propaganda articles that you just played with all those lies, lie after lie after lie. You saw that was a Photoshop.
Oh,
you're not tripping. That was Photoshop. Now, she did put on the mega hat, but shit, it was a joke. Now, if all of a sudden somebody just listened to you for about 5 minutes and then wrote an article about your show, how do you think it would sound?
Oh, man, any 5 minutes of this show is going to make me look like either anti-gay, anti-this, anti-that, anti-whatever. It make me look like a hater.
Well, what do you think is happening with her? She's the most powerful black woman, like Harriet Tubman, leading a freedom movement with only people. See, it's about a lawsuit. I'll explain it to you this way. If we were riding together, me and you, right?
Right.
Riding down the street, and we get hit by a car broadsided at a light. They ran the light, and they injured us. Would all the motherfuckers standing around the car be in the lawsuit? Or do you have to specifically say True and Kathy were injured? Yeah. That's why we have specifically named American, not Caribbean.
Right, you there, Sister Kathy? Oh, here we go. Here we go. Hello? Hello?
That's why we yes, can you hear me?
Yeah. Go.
That's why we specifically named it American Descendant of Slavery, because we have been targeted, not anybody else. You go look at the census prior to 1960, prior to the 1980s, only natives, black, and white immigrants, by the way, were on the census. There wasn't no Vietnamese. There wasn't no what you call Jamaicans. Wasn't no Belizeans. Now you take those people that have really bad pedophilia records, really bad rape, really bad molestation, selling their kids, and they come here and want to put their mouth on a descendant of slaves. Now you can help us, or you can get the fuck out of the way. Mm. And they don't want to help us because they're eating off the table of white supremacy. That's how they got in the country. You got to be an ass-kissing coon just to get in here. They know who they're bringing in, mostly by them crooked churches. Mostly by them crooked churches down there in them islands and in Africa, where they're still like Kenya. They had a white dude dressed up like Jesus, and the Africans are running around all over the place following him. How about Jesus came back? Mm. So no, it has nothing to do with anything other than a lawsuit. And who are the injured parties and all these other scum suckers, leeches that have been coming here for what? They could have fought the good fight in their own damn country. They're coming here for what? The resources. They're coming here for opportunity. And who has, like Nellie Fuller said, who has the power to give them that? Only the warden. We're all prisoners, but they give them the extra bread and keep us starving. And we're having a riot inside the prison.
Only against each other. We don't go against
exactly. That's what the problem is. Who is really against us? These are mouthpieces being paid to write articles, being paid to go on MSNBC. This is blackface with black people. Mm. You can't trust Joy Reid, Roland Martin. Mm. I'm even suspect of really Judge Joe Brown and Dr. Randy Short. I'm suspect of him too. Just like they're suspect of everybody got the right to be suspect. Because we know that they put FBI. How come there's a KKK and there's no Black Panther Party? Now, anytime we try to get empowered, they send agents like the ones you were reading. Those are the agents telling the story. And they're lying. There's no way we would. Matter of fact, go listen to Tone Talks from last week. He'll tell you that we don't support Trump. And guess what YouTube did?
What?
They killed the story twice. He tried to put it up twice. He had to do a third attempt to get it in.
No.
And who I listen to is Jason Black on Black Authority. I listen to Professor Black Truth. I listen to Vicki Dillard, who's she's Black Muslim and believes in metaphysics. I listen to Philip Schott, who's into metaphysics. You know, I listen to them all. But I know who's lying on everybody. They don't want us to have any freedom. They don't want us to have unity. When have they ever wanted a black man with a gun? Never. And we're saying, hey, these white people are loading up. We better load up too. They don't like that.
No.
That's why you got those articles that you just read. They're scared to death. Because we are working together. No. We are. You know, so, you know, this whole shit about Trump. No, we don't want Trump. We said, you know, jokingly, it's been said, well, only, you know, what if Trump did one of those presidential, you know, what you call it, presidential orders? What you call that?
Yeah, executive orders.
Yeah. What if he did an executive order? Would we vote for him? Yeah. Yeah. We have no permanent friends and no permanent enemies. It's like having a coin. It's one coin with a head and a tail. Or it's like a bird with a left and a right wing. It's the same thing. Mm-hmm. They're racist. You want soft shoe racism or you want that hard Stacey Adams up your ass. Either one, you're getting hurt.
I don't want neither.
They're hurting us.
How about option 3? I don't want neither. Both
exactly. We don't want either. That's why Yvette said, vote down ballot. Put ADOS. Write it in. In other words, you know how Dick Gregory was a write-in? We're writing in the word ADOS. We came, we saw, you didn't have nothing on our menu. You didn't have no black agenda. We want a cash payout first. We need it now. We got people dying out there on the street. Okay. We got third world diseases out there in LA.
Right.
Homeless. This is done on purpose.
Exactly. That's what we're saying. So what you're ultimately saying, because we're not saying it to the uninitiated, what we're ultimately saying is that we really expect these motherfuckers who put this system together, and the system is doing what? It's killing us and it's oppressing us, just like you articulated just now. And you really want that to stop? You think voting's going to be an avenue to get that done?
No, we don't. No, we don't. We got other shit we're doing. Mm-hmm. The other one is called takeover. In other words, the NAACP, these colleges, these historically black colleges, we're going back and taking them over and regaining the power. We're not walking away from the Democrats. We're not walking away from what we built. We built those colleges. We built these institutions. Why would we abandon them and start all over? No, we need to adjust. What you call it when you want to, like if you're in a war and you see that you're fucking up.
Readjust?
And you got to.
Readjust. You got to readjust.
Yeah, like on chess. What's that word? You know, like if you're playing pool and stuff and you know how you're going to shoot the ball. Strategy.
Yeah, you got to have strategy.
The strategy that we've been using isn't working. So we have to do something now because we're the lowest of the low. If you get those charts out of Tone Talks, the black immigrants are at $72,000 a year in Los Angeles, and the black people are at $4,000. So there's a $70,000 gap of opportunity that white supremacists gave them and not us. Mm-hmm. And they're coming in here getting those. They're rich. If you're from Nigeria, you can't get to the United States without having some money.
But see, that right there lets you know the fix is in. That right there lets you know what time it is. You know, you're sitting here.
Check that dude. Check that dude. We're doing this now. Check that dude that wrote that article you read. I will guarantee you anything. He's an anchor baby of an islander or an anchor baby African.
Wow.
He's not ADOS. I can guarantee it.
Hold on. I got a question from the chat room from Sister Janice. Ask her about Tariq Nasheed and FBA against ADOS.
They're not against either one. They're the same thing. Tariq just came up with you know, it was like, there's another one that came up, there's another one, Janice, that came up from Professor Black Truth. Professor Black Truth says survivors of American slavery. Survivors of American slavery, right?
Now,
so either way, you're foundational Black American. Tariq came up with that, and it just what we can identify each other by at a lineage. We came from, and you know who started the hashtag of blood and soil for the black people was me. I said it's our blood in this soil. Our blood and bones in this soil. That shit got on Joy Reid on TV, and I was the one that started No Jim Crow Joe too.
No Jim.
Yes,
Crow
I did, and both of those got on the news.
Yes, no Jim Crow. Look, Joe, he's one of those guys that I say likes to deflect or impose his real nastiness on others. You saw those pictures of him grabbing those girls, Kathy. How like
you know what's worse than that? You know what's worse than that? He had this story in his book, in his memoir book, about corn pop.
What? Tell it.
And he was at the project pool. He was, what do you call it? Guys,
hold on.
The lifeguard.
Well, hold on. You're chopping up. Now, what did you just say? No, don't tell me the phone went down again. Are you there, Sister Kathy?
You there?
Yeah.
You there?
Yeah, your phone was chopping up really bad.
Okay, so the story goes like this. He was there, and you know back in the day, you had to wear them damn funny caps.
Yeah.
On your hair. Well, I think old boy's hair, he wanted him to put it in a cap, and he called him Esther. Esther, get off the diving board. And when he called him Esther, old boy said, I'll meet you in the parking lot, dude. So Joe Biden got so damn scared, he ran down to where the white man was at. Now, guess what? He could remember that white man's first and last name. And he was calling this black dude that was a real bad dude, and two of his friends that were bad dudes. In other words, he was up against three brothers. Now, you know they had to be pretty young to be in the public pool, right?
Right.
But he makes them sound like some vicious gangsters. So I assume they were probably 14, 15, 16, and built like a brick shit house. So he goes down to the pool man. The pool man gives him a chain that went across the pool in the deep end, and then they cut it in half to make it 6 feet long. He told Biden, going out there with this, because he assumed that they had razor blades and knives or whatever. You know what they say about us.
Right. We always have a knife.
So he told him, if you come back here, I'll kick your ass. Because he felt Joe Biden was so scared he was in a double back. But he was basically saying, wrap that chain around their neck. Ain't that a lynching?
Yes, it is.
So Joe Biden had an intention to go lynch some niggas. So he goes out to the car, and supposedly he apologized for calling the dude Esther. And the guy said, okay, well, I accept your apology. And they backed off and went away. And he said, then my heart began to beat again. That's who Joe Biden is. To his core. He's afraid of black people, always has been. Considers them violent savages that will kill his mother with a lead pipe. No, the only reason Obama put him as vice president is to get those right-wing Republicans to vote and get his ass in there.
And it worked.
Yeah, and you think we're going to vote for him now after we realize who Obama is? So guess what? Yvette got on and explained all the stuff Obama could have did and didn't do. She's been on Obama's bumper, and the Democrats don't like that. So they told the truth about Obama, like you've been doing. They don't like it. That's why you're shadow banned. You done told a story with Mark from Anaheim about who Obama really is. So, no, we know from him being an anchor baby that they're not like us. They're not from here. They don't have the same experience as we do. And what Professor Black said tonight, Professor Black Truth, he said out of the whole African diaspora in the whole world, the black ADOS are the only ones that are actively fighting racism and white supremacy and want to put an end to the system. So the Africans, they just signed a bill. They went to Sochi in Russia, and they signed up for 18 nuclear power plants. They signed up with Russia. So they got China, they got people they got schools in Africa now teaching kids Mandarin.
Right. That's the future, don't you know?
So, yeah. So I think they're trying to get everybody to go north they're pushing them with the military to go north.
Right.
Because we're already polluted from Fukushima. Yes. They lost 4 reactors. So the only really place that would be safe, a little bit safer, is the southern hemisphere and Antarctica. And that's why they're capturing Amazon's water. Ours is shot to hell. My dog died. Guess what? Look at the symptoms. They're the same as radiation. I have an immune disorder. They just found out I got some immune thing. That's what radiation does. If you see the trees around, you can see they look like they're dying from the inside. I've been watching my plants for the last 5 years. Now, chemtrails, that must be holding the shit in. So all this radiation that Fukushima is putting out,
right?
It only takes 87 days for that shit to go all the way around the earth. Oh, yeah. And it happened in 2011. And then they just had another earthquake and a typhoon, which is a hurricane. And they had these trash bags. They literally believe that they can pull up the soil, the topsoil, and plant their farms.
Right.
The Japanese won't even eat it. They know. They're having the old people eat it. And they said the young people, and they're going to have Olympics there. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? And clean energy, they're teaching your kids, my grandkids. The nuclear is clean. It doesn't have CO2 emission, but it emits more than one type of radiation. There's a thing called oh man, I can't. I wrote it to you in the comment section. It's called Citrium. Anyway, there's a whole bunch of different breakdowns before you get to plutonium, and then when they break it down, it just is in smaller particles.
Right.
It doesn't go away. If we think that when we die we're still here, that's how radiation is. It never dies.
No, because it was never alive. It's an energy source. It is neither created nor destroyed. If we look at physics and use that as a definition to describe it more accurately, because of the fact that, like you said, you have all that stuff going on in Japan. We just found out, had reports from a confidential informant over there that company got busted putting some of that dirty bags and shit in lakes and waterways.
Oh no! What happened? No, what happened was when they had the tornado, the typhoon.
Right.
A hurricane, if it's in the West Coast, it's called a hurricane. If it's in the East Hemisphere, it's called a typhoon. There's no difference. They just say 2 different words. It's the location of the storm. So the typhoon overflowed the rivers. They had, 31,000 black trash bags with this topsoil I'm telling you about that you can't remove. And they just put them in bags right next to the rice fields. Like you could see, it wasn't even a tractor distance between this contamination. And they got the people working in the rice fields and making sake and sending it all over the world. Once something's radiated, even if it's a person, if you bury me you for 500,000 years half-life, I'm still going to be radioactive.
Correct.
You know, and I just found out about another nuclear accident that happened right here in Simi Valley. Now I can't remember the name of it. In 1959, they're still trying to clean that shit up. They can't clean it up, no. And they're worried about the rain runoff going down into LA. So, you know, when I hear stuff about eating pussy or eating ass causing cancer, I laugh. When I hear about Juul cigarettes making little kids drop, I laugh. When they say this, no, it's all different types of radiation. There's 3,000 different diseases that you can have before you even get to cancer. So all these things that they're telling us, oh, we got a mosquito that makes you go into a coma and die in 5 days. Really? But go look at the map. Pull up the nuclear power plants in the United States. And then they got that monster fish show that comes on TV. Those are mutations. That's a mutation of radiation. That's not normal.
No.
Just like being in poverty is not normal. We're supposed to be in abundance. Abundance of air, abundance of water, abundance of food. It's not us. It's not the lack of work. It's not that the Mexicans come over and work harder. It's not that the African immigrants come over and work harder. No, they're singled out and given opportunities, and we're held back. So yeah, we don't want to be minorities. We don't want to be. So if you hear these buzzwords, impoverished, disadvantaged communities, now we're going to get the Skittles and the feminists and everybody else to come in and fuck us over.
Mm-hmm. And they are.
And so there's just a small group of us, and they're so scared when we get together and organize, and they're not a part of it. They don't have no power and control. They don't have a small sombrero in the room. Yeah, see, and Tariq Nasheed did a movie called Hidden Colors 5. He got to the airport going to London for the red carpet opening, and he had been banned from the UK. He said, "Well, why?" They said, "Well, you're not good for the culture." So they had to give the CD to somebody else, and he tiptoed it into England, and they went ahead and the show went on. But he's banned from the UK. Now he's being targeted by the press. He's already had his house raided on TV on one of those fake 911 calls, saying that he was in there with guns and he had people kidnapped. Yeah, they had the helicopters, the guns. They had him in handcuffs. They're trying to target Yvette, target Tariq. They're targeting them that they've always done. They've been saying, who's the leader? We said there's no leader. There's an ideology. You can't kill a thought. You can't kill that. You can kill the people, but once I die, you guys bury me and keep moving.
Right.
There's no leader here. There's only an ideology that we're to be free and have justice replace this unjust society. And we have no friends. There's no black and brown coalition. There's no feminist coalition. And they're trying to say that Yvette blew a screw when that Harriet Tubman movie came in, and they used the black man as a bounty hunter. We know there was only white men bounty hunters. If they're killing us in 2019 because they thought we have a gun and we got a cell phone, what the hell do you think they were doing when Harriet Tubman was around? There's a free will man, black man? That's not true. So, and then he was threatening to kill Harriet Tubman in the movie so that he could get the reward money and go fuck some white hoes. Well, we know that wasn't true either back then. That wasn't anything done till after the prohibition when the suffragettes made it illegal for alcohol. That's when Big Mama Thornton wrote Unlucky Girl. Every time I drink my gin, the FBI come in. So they planned it for the Irish to have the cop jobs. Then you have the bail dudes, small sombreros. And then you got the DA. You got the other one. You got the judge. You got the Senate. Now you got them all making money off our back, off the laws that they create about behavior they know we're going to do. Right. That'd be like saying, if you eat fried chicken, you're going to prison. Well, they know we're going to eat fried chicken, but you don't give us no opportunities for jobs. But you put the cocaine in the neighborhood. Oliver North puts the guns. The CIA put the money. They're treating us like enemy combatants.
Right.
In another country. They're treating us the same way they treat Maduro. Sanctions on the economy. That's what they're doing to us. Assassinations of our leaders. Character assassination of Yvette. Yeah, she's a lesbian, but she's black first. She don't talk about what she does in her bedroom. Somebody else outed her. And I was asking myself, because one of the other black media, Dr. Oh God, what's his name? He's a money man.
Claude Anderson?
As Janice. Boyce Watkins.
Oh,
Boyce Watkins outed her that she had a white woman. And then that's when I wrote into Yvette and asked her if it was true, because Bynard Rustin was gay. He's the one that organized the March on Washington. Then he turned right back around and did the first gay march. He was such a good organizer. So I wanted to know, are you black first, or are you going to take this into the Skittles community next? So that was even addressed in another article written by someone else to say, yes, Yvette's gay.
Now, does she do interviews at all? Like on the show?
Say it again?
Like, do you think that she would come on this show and just set the record straight?
She might, but she's been asked to come on a lot of shows. And you can email her. You can try, because she has her own show and she tries to stay in her own lane. She tries not to be distracted, and she has us reading books. They don't tell you that. She doesn't just preach this, that, or the other. She comes with facts and receipts from history, from books. There's a book club every week. And one of them was Dr. King saying, where do we go from here? See, because he asked for reparations too, but nobody wants to say that. All they want to say is he had a dream. No, he had a dream about reparations, maybe.
Well,
but see, when he got into the economic realm, all of a sudden, now he's talking about economics and poverty, and all of a sudden he's assassinated. Just like they did Gaddafi. Go listen to the last UN speech when he called Obama brother, was when Obama just got elected. And he was telling him, we don't need to keep coming to New York. We could all get hit in here. You're always talking about terrorists. They could hit all of us. We need to share the UN. The UN just announced it was bankrupt.
Yeah.
Well, if they would have listened to Gaddafi, they wouldn't have had this problem. So he made little gold bars, and he said, we're going to use this if you want to buy gold, because he was going to unify Africa. He wanted to be the president of Africa. He was trying to unify it with the same money. They all got gold. And he said, we're not taking no paper for the oil. And Venezuela joined that, and they started pulling out of that small hat World Bank. And that's why they're being penalized. So 124 countries have sanctions, economic sanctions. And all those 124 came together against the United States, saying that this is inhumane. You're cutting off food. You're cutting off medicine. You're stealing our money. See, kill, steal, and destroy.
Well,
they've been doing the same thing.
But see, that's the change of hats I'm talking about. If it's not them, it's another group. If it's not another group, it's another group. It always goes back down to this tribal group mentality mindset that is like indicative of the
you're not clear now. You're chopping up. Talk a little slower. Say it again.
I said, it seems like if it's not them, it's another group. We're as humans, we're trapped in what this thing I call the change of the hat. The power structure remains the same. It's just the players and administrators might change features or change appearance, but we never change the system.
I've been feeling there's a real big change of the guard happening, and we may not know what's going on. Yeah, go ahead.
But that's what I'm saying. Until we get to that point, till we change the cycle and actually seek true liberation. And true liberation, what I talk about isn't anarchy. I want to get that straight, because I had a message, you're an anarchist, but no, I'm not. We have to have rule of law. We just have to have it implemented equally upon all the citizens, and that all the citizens should indulge and deserve the same privileges and rights.
It's gotten to the point some of us think that there's not enough humanity in certain people to even live around them. That if we had like almost segregation like we did before, the black economic empowerment, it was booming so much that they bombed it, destroyed it. They got so scared, it grew so fast. So whenever we get just a little bit of an opportunity, a little bit of opening the access, we just want access to education, access to And when we get the money, we don't want their health care because we know what they do. We don't want a Tuskegee health care. So we want our own schools with our own money, our own medicine, our own doctors, and we have over 400,000 Black servicemen that are troops and highly skilled and highly trained. I think we could have security for ourselves, but we're so scattered around the country. This internet made something historic happen, and we're part of it. We have never, ever been, quote unquote, allowed to assemble and congregate. That's why they had tent churches. If they had a church service and congregated, they could all be hung. So they used to have tents that they could just bust them down and take off. They tell you a day or two before the service where it was going to be on the riverbank. They've never wanted us to assemble. So now that we have, that's why you have those articles like you just read. That's why you have those paid people that are coming in, paid by the government. We've already been, look, all of us are considered Black identity extremists. They got a new term for us. COINTELPRO ain't never disbanded. It just changed its name. So we're under the highest surveillance of any group in the United States. So how are we a threat?
We're a threat.
We're not.
No, we better understand this. We're a threat in the sense that the people in power has determined that we're threats, and that's all it takes. I'm not saying that you're a threat by nature. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying you better recognize the people who are in power determined that you're a threat. And that's the end of the story. After that, it really doesn't need no validation because the power to make that call is outside of the person who it's being perpetrated on's hands. That's the brother.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's
well, see, this is the thing. Right now, we are not listening to the DNC. The DNC didn't even let Bernie Sanders get elected. They threw him. They threw the whole thing. They rigged it against Sanders. So if me or you decided to run for president, we couldn't even get through the Democratic DNC. We could look at Marianne Williamson. They don't want her anywhere near it. They made all these different rules that you got to do this hurdle. She's the only one that came to the conference, the ADOS conference that was held in Kentucky. All of the presidential candidates were invited.
Okay.
Warren was invited. Sanders was invited. Harris was invited. Booker was invited. Buttigieg was invited. All of them. Only one of them showed up. But you want us to save you from Trump. Well, the reason they call us Trumpers is because we don't give a fuck about Trump. We had slave masters run this fucker all 500 years. Mm-hmm. So we ain't scared of a Donald Trump. You put him in, you get him out.
But now you do realize
you racists voted together on code.
Oh, well, absolutely. But you do realize that Bernie
Sanders,
you know that if let's say reparations is the focal point, all right, that's the go. That's the end game, right?
A cash payment.
Well, Bernie Sanders wasn't going to help you on that either, right?
We already know that. We had a journalist from ADOS get him on film. Have you seen it?
No.
They hauled him off. Secret Service hauled him off. He had to say, "Get your hands off me." He also filmed at that fish fry in South Carolina. He asked was the one that was from the Army? There was a nurse in the Army. Starts with a G.
Oh my gosh. The name.
That lady. She said, "I don't have time to talk about that now." She walked off. And Harris, she said, "I voted for HR 1. Well, we know HR 1 isn't nothing but a butter biscuit thing for them, for the senators and Congress and stuff to make money and toss it around to tell us no. We saw that bullshit on TV, that hearing with Danny Glover and a gay dude that we looked up his video. He had tidy whities on in the subway, dancing on the subway pole. And that's who you chose to represent for ADOS?
Well,
they had no business. We have real experts, real intellects, real economists, real mathematicians that can tell you the bill is anywhere from 17 trillion to 20 trillion. And just like the Jews, you just keep paying us. We want a lump sum at the beginning, And we'll figure out the different institutions and other opportunities that we can get from there. Land, business opportunity, whatever. But first, we want the money. In my family, 240 acres were taken off one side, 40 acres were taken off the other. The one with the 40 acres is owned by a big paper mill now. Mm. We had oil, coal, natural gas, not coal. We had oil, timber, water, and natural gas. We had all that on our land. And we didn't have no 40 acres. We didn't have no 40 acres and a mule. My grandfather had Clydesdales.
So
cows, chickens, they made butter. He fed the neighborhood. And he died in poverty because they wouldn't let him pay his taxes because of Jim Crow. They said, no niggas in here. So he couldn't get in. None of us could get in to pay. That's how we lost our property. They wouldn't let us in the damn courthouse to pay our property taxes in the 30s, especially. My grandfather went back home. They had pulled his whole house down with horses and a rope, and he had fought them. He slapped the shit out of two little kids that had joined arms and bucked my auntie that was pregnant off of a horse. He got the horse whip and whipped them kids right in the middle of the street and had to go get bucked. He went into the mercantile and got all the powder he could get and waited for him. Told him, if you come over this bridge, this buckshot's gonna get all of you. You know, so they ran through my grandfather's house in the middle of the night with the night raiders and stuff. Mm-hmm. You know, so no, I want that back. I wouldn't be in the condition. None of us would be in the condition if we had our inherited wealth.
In what way?
And if you really want to know what I think, I think they're trying to get rid of the evidence, brother.
They don't need to.
Everybody that's got DNA that goes back to the founding fathers and their Epstein behavior,
right?
They can't clear the record with us still being here. They still got a bloodline directly to the Supreme Court, directly to the Congress, directly to the White House. See, they want to change the story. That's why they rewrote that Harriet Tubman piece of crap. No, And immigrants will not replace us. How about that? Yeah. Because they wouldn't have the rights they got if it wasn't for the blacks fighting in the United States. And we're still the only group willing to put our neck out and be cannon fodder in any type of way, by any means necessary, to get our freedom and our rights and our property back.
But see, a lot of that,
and if we can't, fuck everybody if we can't get it back. Burn it up. We don't need the water. Let the motherfucker burn. We don't give a fuck.
But see,
either get it right or we don't want it.
I mean, I understand where you're coming from when you get so frustrated. You know, it's like, can't get along, get it on. But don't forget, when you're dealing with the enemy that you're dealing with, the strongest suit is military. That's where they want you. They want you not to.
No, the real strength is truth. No, Nellie Fuller tells you that.
I'm talking about the real power.
We can't fight them militarily. We can't. We got to do it like learn how to be political. What Yvette does is she's a political educator. She's teaching us how to make our vote count. And we don't have the money to get no lobbies, but we got the black bloc. They can't win without the black bloc, but they don't want to talk to us. They ignore us. They insult us. They call us bots, Russian bots. Well, oh yeah, anytime blacks get together, you know, it's all communism and socialism. You know that, right? So no, any kind of label that they can put and try to make it stick, they try to, you know, Tariq, he wants to have a conference. He said, I want it really nice. I want us to get together, brainstorm. He goes, I'm going to put it together. So he got on this thing called Kickstarter. It's a crowdfunding. Do you know I donated money? I got an email back saying these people may not be using the money properly, and about some kind of real, you know,
weird
sucker shit. And they said we'll be giving you your money back. They didn't want Tariq to get that conference together, so he had to put it on another because he had raised $23,000. He had $200,000.
Oh man.
Because he wants to put it on nice. He wants to have businesses, black businesses, be able to have tables. You set up your, like, I got all kind of stuff I can sell. I create all kind of things. I made a medicine like Dr. Sabi. So, you know, and it's all natural.
That's what I'm talking about. We're actually,
we have to.
We've run out of time. I'm sorry, sister. We're almost like at the 2-hour mark. Yeah. One more. Okay. Well, 5 more seconds.
Thanks for having me on.
No, this ain't gonna be last time, sister. Now listen.
Well, I appreciate it because Yvette's not here to say anything back for herself, and you know, I know what she says. I know what Tone says. They just did check Tone talks, and he talks about why we will never be with Trump because they're already doing, what do you call that? You know, when they just take all the money away, it starts with an A. But anyway, austerity. The same thing the yellow jackets are complaining about. Same thing that everybody's complaining about. Austerity. How can you vote for Trump and Trump has cut everything? He's not. Come on.
He's a closer. I've already warned people. He's a closer. That's what he's good at, closing out corporations. And this is the biggest corporation that yet the world to see be closed out, and that remains to be seen. With that being said, you got.
And then it gets closed out. What's it going to be replaced with? Because I've been saying we're in the United States or Russia already. Okay, I love you, True. I love you, fam. And yeah, let's not let them divide us like that with a bunch of hearsay. And check the backgrounds on people. Find out if they're anchor babies from these different countries or if they're ADOS. It makes a big difference in how the narrative goes.
Absolutely.
I love you guys. Peace, love, happiness, and liberation.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Wow.
Thank you for all you do. Thank you for getting up every day and coming up with ideas. Thank you for speaking for the people that don't have a voice. Thank you for bringing on those controversial guests.
Yes.
Thank you for the article. Thank you for the article you just read that was controversial.
Well,
and we'll talk about the Nation of Islam and the
Scientologists,
the flying saucers. I know all about that too.
Awesome. This is what I'm talking about. This is what so awesome about this show. It's the access to intellect, the access to different ways of thinking, and it's all about the conversation at the end of the day. Well, thank you, Sister Kathy, for joining us.
God bless everybody. Good night, Janice, Al, David, moderators, and don't forget to give us a thumbs up.
Yes, ma'am.
Before you leave.
Peace.
Okay, good night.
Good night. Now, everybody, that will conclude TPIM SR Live. Hopefully, the show has been thought-provoking tonight, give you something to think about as you hopefully wake up tomorrow. I'm your host, True Power's Mind. As always, I ask you to live your life of integrity without hate, envy, or greed. As always, brothers and sisters, please let's try to be kinder to each other. Peace and power, unity and victory, respect and dignity, liberation. I'm out.